Hey, hello. So this is going to be my first ever progress vlog type of thing. And it's going to be a little bit different from my other videos. I'm just going to be stopping in between progress to talk about what I'm doing and to show you what I've been doing, but I won't actually have footage of the process of me making things in this video. And hopefully it'll be fun to watch. I'm going to be vlogging about making a draped gown from some chiffon-like sari fabric I got from Joann's and some suiting. And I'm making this as kind of a procrastination project because my other projects aren't going very well and I just want to break and want to work on something that will be easy and fun and satisfying, and I think that's what this dress will be. So if you'd like to see more about it and hear me talk about it as I make it, then please keep watching. These are the fabrics I'll be using. I'm in love with this fabric. I think it's so pretty. As I said, it's a sari fabric and it's sort of a chiffon weight with a little bit more texture to it because it's hand dyed, and then a polyester suiting. And I got these during the Memorial Day sale, so they were 50% off plus 15 or 20% off that. I also have some skewers which I'm going to turn into a headpiece to go with this, and I also have some gold sequins and beads and rhinestones which I'd like to use to embellish the neckline of this dress. So that's that. And then over here, I have the bodice. This is the mock-up, or not the mock-up, the draped bodice. It's going to be a fitted structured bodice with the sari material draped over top. I just don't have enough of the fabric, and the fabric isn't wide enough to make it a loose tunic-like thing with a sash around the waist. If that was an option, I would definitely do that, but I just don't have enough material. So this is the front, and this is the side. And this is the back. It's 3 pieces that I've draped, and the front piece will be cut on the fold. And the back piece may potentially be cut on a fold as well. It sort of depends where I end up putting the zipper. I also have a visitor in my sewing room. This is Princess Guinevere. Ooh, we're out of focus. There she is. I think she's a little bit playful right now, so I might take her downstairs so she can go outside. It's done! I got it onto paper. Cutting a draped pattern on paper is really easy. You just basically trace the pieces and then add seam allowances. And the only thing you have to consider is that each seam that goes together needs both pieces to have the same length at that seam. And if one is slightly longer than the other, then they won't line up. That's it. I'm going to make a mock-up, and so I finished the mock-up and I decided to put the zipper into this side back seam, and then I'm going to cover it so you won't really see it. And it fits really nicely. I'm just going to add a 1/2 inch to the bottom because it was a little short in the waist, and I'm also going to trim these edges. The neckline is a little bit more gradually rounded. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I want to really quickly. This is my sketch I'm working off of, and it's not a great sketch, but it's enough to give me an idea of what I'm doing. And for inspiration for this project, I'm working off of this painting, which is called The Body of St. Catherine of Alexandria, Born to Heaven by Angels. I'll have a link to this picture in the description box so you can see it. It's a really beautiful painting, and I find it really inspiring, which is why I'm making a dress that's very similar to one shown in that painting. I'm not sure where I last left off, but now I have a bodice, and it looks like a bit of a mess because it's sort of like this is the lining for the bodice, but it's also the base for the lightweight fabric. So the seams are actually going to be facing out and then get covered by an overlay. So it looks really messy right now, but what I've done is just assembled it the same way I did my mock-up, and then I pinned bias tape to cover the armholes. And I'm going to sew that on by hand with this thread. This is a new thread which I got in New York City for I think $1.50, and I'm not sure how good the quality is, but I'm going to give it a shot. Look, we have a bodice. This is the back, and I'll flip it around and show you the front. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Okay, not so much, and doesn't really fit my dress form, but it fits me. So that's good. The armholes are finished now. I finished them with bias tape, as I said earlier. and all the seams are sewn. All it's missing is the zipper really, but I'm going to add that later on once I have the skirt built and everything like that. But the next step right now is adding the sleeves. So I've drawn up a quick little paper pattern for sleeves. It's really close to being a rectangle. It's just sloped, so it'll be slimmer towards the shoulder and wider at the cuff. And yeah, not a lot to it, super easy to draft. The largest measurement there is 25 inches and it's 18 inches wide, so I can fit both the sleeves that I need on 1 yard of my fabric. So I'm going to go cut those out and then they will get gathered down and hopefully resemble sleeves. So today is day 2 in the dressmaking process. Yesterday was really productive. I'm happy with what I got done. I'm happy with how the bodice pattern has turned out, and I got the bodice completely assembled and I got the sleeves cut out, and one of the sleeves is mostly assembled, so feeling good about it. Today my goals are finishing the sleeves, so gathering the tops of them, the cuffs, attaching the ties, and sewing them onto the bodice, and making the underskirt, which should be really easy and quick to put together because it's made from the suiting, which is easy to work with, and I'll be sewing it entirely by machine and hemming it with horsehair, so that should come together really quickly. And then I think I'm going to focus on the overskirt and prepare it for hemming this evening because it will be 4 or 5 yards long and it's a very delicate material that's slow to work with, so it'll take me a while to hem that. And then the next day I can get it gathered, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty damn pleased with how it's coming out so far, and I hope it continues to go that way. And whether it does or not, I will keep you updated. And I think that's everything. I have Guinevere joining me again today. Right now I'm just waiting for my iron to heat up so we can work on the sleeves. I decided in the meantime I would focus on the skirt. I figured out the skirt dimensions. It has to be 51 inches long, plus seam allowances and hem allowances. And for the hem, I think I'm going to hem it with horsehair braid. I have some new horsehair I got back here, but I think I'm going to see if I have enough of the pink so I can use that up and get it out of my collection. I have sleeves! I got the ties attached and the cuffs are gathered, so I just have to do up the back seam and then gather and attach the tops to the shoulder, which sounds like a lot, but that should be pretty easy compared to doing all these little tiny gathers and sewing up the ties. On the downside, they're a lot more sheer than I was expecting. I thought they would be full enough that they'd mostly cover my arms, but you can definitely see my arms through them. And it looks a little bit awkward, and it's sort of past the point where I can line them. So I might have to make a pair of really loose, stretchy undersleeves. The way the bodice is done, that it'll be way too hard to get out of it if I just make regular, like, fitted sleeves. So I'm in a bit of a pickle, but I'm just gonna move forward and figure it out after I get these to a point where I can really try them on and see how they look, because I might change my mind about them. Well, I finished the skirt. Well, okay, I didn't finish the skirt, but I cut the skirt out and I've pleated it, and it took me 2 tries to pleat it because I did the math wrong, but I got there, and I'll show you the back of it. See, so it lines up really nicely, and then this flap is going to go underneath and almost serve as like a modesty panel. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and the length looks really nice. So I'm going to go downstairs and eat lunch, and then when I come back I'm going to sew across the top so all the pleats are secure, and I'm also going to hem it. Unfortunately, I don't have enough of the mismatched horsehair braid to use that. I'll have to open my new packet, but that's fine. Isn't it stunning? This is just the lining, so it's made completely out of suiting. And the lining is pretty much done. I hemmed the bottom of the skirt with 2.5 inch wide horsehair braid, so it's all hemmed. And I tacked down the pleats at the waist with a running stitch. I did that by machine, and I'll show you the back too. And then the back is all sewn up. There's a French seam there, and the opening is right here, and it's really blurry, sorry. So yeah, I think this is actually going to be it for this segment, because now that the lining's done, I'm going to move on to working with the top fabric, and I think it'll be a lot nicer if that's in a separate video. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this format, then please let me know, because I'm still sort of trying to figure out what format I like filming the most and what I find the most fun to edit, and also what people like seeing the most. So if you have any thoughts or opinions on that, then please feel free to share them, and I will see you guys next time.